Good morning. I'm Brady Burrell coming to you live from the Berwick Civic Center where we're having a mock crash here presented by the Berwick Police Department and Sudden Impact. And this event is happening for the students of Berwick High School. This is presented again by the Berwick Police Department, Sudden Impact, State Police, as well as many other agencies who are participating. If you've maybe seen in the past that these events have been held several years ago. I was actually one of the volunteers. I was privileged to produce the audio for this. I get to sit back and watch. And of course, this is to teach students how to prevent incidents, danger on the roadways, especially as we go into prom season and graduations, and even in the future. So stay tuned. This event will get underway shortly. Other agencies I do see on hand, the St. Mary Parish Coroner's Office, Berwick Fire Department, Hargrave Funeral Home is participating, Troop I, Troop C of the State Police, many other agencies are involved, and so we will get underway shortly. It was supposed to begin at 9 o'clock, but they were trying to get things underway and then get the students across the street from Berwick High School, so we will be getting underway shortly. And again, I'm Brady Burrell coming to you live from the Berwick Civic Center, just behind the Civic Center in the parking lot. It's where a mock crash is being held for the students of Berwick High School. This is being presented by the Berwick Police Department, Sudden Impact, State Police, Troops I and C. And I do see Thomas Gottson, the Public Information Officer for Troop I, and we're about to get underway.
All right, good morning. Ooh. First day back from holiday, I guess. That's why I was so quiet. Good morning. Thank you. My name's Trooper Thomas Gosson. I'm the Public Information Officer in Troop I, which is the Lafayette area, but this encompasses here. Trooper Brennan's going to be here as well. We kind of share this area, being it's so close to his area. Here's one thing I need you to understand, guys. While this is a performance, this is something that we see on a daily basis. My job with State Police is to write death notifications. To write death notifications to the media. So far, I've done 11 this year. Last year, I did 62. Half of them involved impairment. Half of them had no seatbelt on. What's the key word when I said those two things? The key word I want you to put in your mind right there is preventable. Shouldn't have happened. It didn't have to happen. Here's the thing that's interesting about experience. Experience gives you the test moments before the lesson. Experience gives you the test moments before the lesson. Once you crash, once you're in this position here, that was the test. Then you figure out, man, I shouldn't have done that. But by then it's too late. By then it's too late. I'm going to tell you now, while this is a performance, some of you guys are going to be uncomfortable. Some of you guys are going to not know what to do. I'm going to ask that you keep the talking to a minimum. Yeah, it's funny to see your friends doing this stuff. I get it. But unfortunately, you might be the witness to somebody doing this, and it's not going to be a performance. I'm going to ask you to put yourself in this position. Seriously, I'm going to ask you to put yourself in the position of any one of these four. And what would you do in this situation if it were real? Because by the time it's done, it's too late. You can't say, I'm sorry. It doesn't fix it. By the time it's done, you can't say, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. So I really want you to put your heart, put your mind, put yourself in this situation and say, man, what can we do to help never have this happen before again? Because this has happened so many times before. Understand this, and this is what I'm going to close with. Since I started talking, since I walked up here with this microphone, there's been a crash in Louisiana. Every 3 minutes, there's a crash in Louisiana. Every 7 minutes, there's a crash where somebody has an injury that's going to change their life forever. And look, we've all had somebody in our family who's been in a crash, and they're kind of not the same, whether they walk with a limp, whether they're disabled in some way. That's every 7 minutes. Every 9 hours. Last year, every 9 hours, we were doing a death notification here in Louisiana. Guys, that's too much. That's too much. You can't change the world. Well, what did he just say? I said you can't change the world, but you can change your world. You can change the person sitting next to you by the way you act. You see, here's the funny part. Peer pressure, we normally think of peer pressure as people pressuring you to do the wrong thing. How about you pressure your friends to do the right thing? Take the keys from them. Don't let them get impaired and get behind the wheel. Don't let your friends get in a car with somebody who's been impaired. Tell them to put the seatbelt on. Tell them to put their phone down. Man, give me the phone. Let me text that for you. Right? It's those little things, guys, and that's how it changes. But it's up to you to do it.
It's a normal Saturday night. People are returning from events, going to functions, and starting the weekend early. Cars are traveling in every direction. Headlights are lighting the roadway. Music is up. Everyone is laughing when you hear the brakes screeching in a loud noise, similar to a small explosion. You hit your brakes, startled, pulled to the shoulder, and realize the horrific sound was two cars just involved in a violent, high-speed collision at Highway 182 and Patty Drive. That sound will resonate with you for years. You begin to run towards the cars, as there's no way possible someone is not injured. As you run, the glass is crunching under your feet. The cars are crushed like cans.
But there's no movement, sounds, or screams coming from either car. You have no idea what you're about to endure, but this picture is burned in your memory forever. You dial 911 trying to identify your whereabouts and screaming for help to the operator. Emergency vehicles are en route, but at this time there are no sirens to be heard, not even in the distance, and the golden hour of trauma has already started. Time is ticking.
Help! Please! My legs! Matthew? Help! Maddie, do something!
The driver of the Hyundai is Lane. He and his passenger Mackenzie were drinking at a house party after the Berwick High School prom. As he approached the red light, Lane was texting his father to let him know he was on his way. Just a simple OMW on his phone. A simple, easy text. According to a witness, it was evident that he was not going to stop. There was no braking, as if he didn't even see the red light. The cell phone distraction and impairment are a fatal, yet preventable combination. His passenger screamed and Lane swerved to avoid the oncoming vehicle, but it was impossible. The impairment increased his reaction time and decreased his reflexes, resulting in a head-on collision. Lane was wearing a seatbelt, escaping severe injury, allowing him to exit the vehicle. Lane notices Mackenzie, his front seat passenger, is partially ejected through the front windshield, not moving and not responding.
Maddie! Maddie!
Hey, it's gonna be okay.
Mackenzie.
It's okay, it's okay. It's gonna be okay. Matthew, it's okay.
You all right?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I know. Oh my God.
What happened?
Where we at? Mackenzie.
Oh my God.
Wake up.
Oh my God. Lane?
Jesus Christ.
Without a seatbelt, Mackenzie, the front seat passenger, was thrown through the windshield. Her eyes are open, but she is not responding to Lane's screams.
Wake up.
Her only chance to survive a crash of this severity was to lessen the force on her body by wearing a seatbelt.
Where y'all at?
At this point, Lane cannot do much other than talk to her and offer support.
Where's my phone?
Although she is waiting for medical assistance, there are no sirens to be heard. Seconds are becoming minutes, and the golden hour of trauma continues to tick.
It's gonna be okay. I'm right here. It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Oh my God.
Mackenzie.
Oh my God.
Mackenzie, it ain't funny.
Madison and Matthew were also on their way home from the same party after the prom. Madison refused to allow Matthew to drive the Mazda, as she witnessed Matthew consume several drinks at the party. Due to the seatbelt usage, Madison is also free of severe injury, conscious and able to get out of the car. She is sober, aware of the crash, aware of her surroundings, and clearly saw Lane cross the center line. Unfortunately, Matthew was unrestrained as a front seat passenger and was thrown with such force against the dashboard and windshield that his body is pinned beneath the crushed vehicle parts. Matthew has obvious severe injuries to his face and head from striking the windshield. Blood is dripping uncontrollably. There are several deep wounds and many superficial wounds from glass and metal. He has obvious broken bones. He is conscious, but trapped in the vehicle.
Maddie, I'm sorry.
Madison is unable to open Matthew's door due to the vehicle damage. Matthew's screams are shrilling and indicate that he's in a tremendous amount of pain. When Madison asks questions, Matthew's responses aren't making sense. You can only imagine why. To understand the amount of force on the body and head, simply calculate Matthew's weight times the speed of the vehicle, which was 45 miles an hour. The golden hour of trauma continues to tick, yet there are still no sirens to be heard.
Oh my God.
Call. Somebody call.
Help! We need
Somebody
help!
call.
Somebody help, please!
Wake up. Wake
Oh
up.
my God.
Wake up. This isn't funny. Wake up.
Lane, there was a red light. I saw you cross that line.
No. No.
Are you
No, it's not
kidding?
my fault. It's not my fault.
You
No.
were drinking at the
No.
party. I saw you.
No, I wasn't.
It doesn't matter. We
No,
need
I
to call
wasn't. I'm
someone.
not drunk. I'm
We
not
need
drunk.
help.
Wait,
Matthew, it's gonna be
somebody
fine.
call.
It's gonna be
Wake
fine.
up, Mackenzie. It's not funny. It's not funny. Wake up.
God.
This isn't
Matt,
joking.
Mackenzie?
Wake up.
Mackenzie?
Wake up.
In many cases, emergency personnel must drive several miles to reach the scene of a crash. So the first person may not arrive for 10 to 15 minutes. Getting to the scene can be hectic.
This ain't funny.
Emergency personnel are slowed by motorists who fail to yield to the sirens and flashing blue lights. Plus, they must navigate around stopped traffic at the crash scene. For Matthew and Mackenzie, help just cannot arrive soon enough. Assistance must be rendered rapidly if Matthew and Mackenzie are going to survive.
Right here.
The golden hour of trauma
I'm gonna get help.
continues to tick.
I'm trying. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maddie, it's gonna be
Finally, Lane and Madison can hear the faint sound of sirens in the distance. The sirens are getting louder and louder, and their only hope is that help is coming to them. Trooper First Class Ross Brennan, along with the Berwick Police Department, are the first to arrive on the scene. It is a disaster. The vehicle's crushed. Bystanders are going to be pulling them in different directions. Glass is everywhere. Passengers are hysterical. Neighbors are at the scene. Fluid is leaking from the cars. But yet they have to emergently evaluate the condition of all passengers. It's chaotic, and they will clearly recognize that this is a possible fatal crash for one or more passengers.
Who's hurt?
Trooper Brennan notices the absence of skid marks from Lane's car, indicating that it clearly crossed the center line. He will assess the situation, gather statements, and knows that he will need to reconstruct the entire crash. He'll realize that this is a multi-person response, so he'll call for additional first responders.
Hey, wake up, you alright? Are you alright? No pulse?
Oh my God.
C100, Region 2, go ahead and give me additional units en route.
Dude, it's okay.
We'll need extrication. We got one that's pinned in the vehicle. We got one that's ejected, possible fatal. Not feeling too hot right now. Also, go ahead and give me Acadian EMS en route.
Please.
Team 4, emergency personnel.
Oh my God.
All right, just hang on. We got help coming out for you, all right?
Please.
Wake up.
He needs help. He needs
We're going to
help.
get help for you. Just hang on with me, all right?
He's coming home. A party.
Officer, please. He needs help.
Soon you will hear
He needs
faint
help.
sirens in the background.
Help.
More assistance is coming. Is this crash due to driver inexperience, impairment,
I was driving.
speed, distractions,
Oh my God.
or maybe aggressive or careless maneuvers?
He needs help.
I just sent a quick text.
All right, so tell me, what's your name?
Lane,
Lane? All right, tell me what happened.
I was just coming home. I just texted my mom that I was on my way home.
Yeah, watch on. Units gonna be coming out. I want you to get run over. So what
He
happened?
hasn't moved. I
I
haven't
was
seen her
on my way
move.
home from a party, and I just texted my mom I was on my way home.
Okay.
And then it just happened. It's so quick.
So quick. So you're driving down the road. You said you were texting. Did you pay attention? Did you see? Like, what's going on?
I don't even know. It just happened so fast.
What do you mean you don't know? So that means you weren't paying attention.
No.
Matthew's gonna be okay.
All right, just hang on. I'll come back and talk to you in a second.
It's okay.
All right, come see. Come over here. Come over here. All right, focus on me real quick. What happened?
Okay, I was driving. and
Why you're not help?
I was at a party. I'll
Help
tell you
her
what.
out.
I saw Lane drinking, and I saw him pass that white line in front of that red light. Officer,
So you're paying attention?
I was paying attention. I was buckled up. I was doing everything I was supposed to do.
So you said you're coming back from a party. Did you have anything to drink at that party?
No, sir.
No. So you were the designated driver?
Yes, I was the designated driver. My passenger had a little bit to
Okay,
drink,
but you were doing the right thing. You were driving, right?
Sir.
All right. No distractions. You weren't texting, nothing like that?
Texting.
You had your seatbelt on?
Yes, sir. I had my seatbelt on.
All right. You know how fast you were going?
Speed limit.
Speed limit? All right. So just keep coming to your lane, hitting you, right?
Yes.
All right. We got one pin inside the vehicle. We have one thrown out. Y'all give me a pulse rate on them, see if they're DOA, if they're fatal yet.
I think he's crushed, please. Please, he needs help.
Mackenzie's injuries were too severe. She is no longer breathing. Paramedics will determine that Mackenzie is dead, and Trooper Brennan will dispatch the coroner.
Please, you just need to hurry. He needs help.
C100, Region 2, go ahead and get Coroner out. We have one confirmed fatality out here, one confirmed fatality.
She's not dead.
Please hurry. He needs help. He needs
When Lane hears the notification of the coroner, he becomes hysterical, realizing a classmate is dead.
She's not dead. No.
There's no immediate effort to remove her body from the scene.
Go over there. What are y'all
Her lifeless body remains untouched until the evidence is gathered for the investigation. Friends, family, and classmates in the immediate future are going to receive the horrific news that she's no longer alive.
Are you
We are
sure?
hoping that the notification is delivered from emergency personnel. However, social media often results in family members receiving tragic news prematurely and in an insensitive manner.
Maddie, it's gonna be okay.
All right, Lane, tell me a little bit more about that night. Where were y'all coming back from again?
It's gonna be okay.
You were coming back from a party? What type of
It's gonna be
party?
okay.
It was just fun. We were just having fun after prom.
After prom?
After prom.
All right, was there any drinking going on there?
Yeah, everybody else was drinking. I wasn't drinking.
So you
I
say
didn't
you
have
weren't
one.
drinking. So you come back from a party, you weren't paying attention, you already told me that you were texting, right? Who were you texting?
I was texting my mom. I told her I was on my way home from the party.
All right. You know how fast you were going?
No.
No?
Speed limit.
Again, so you probably weren't paying attention, right? Did you at least have your seatbelt on?
No. Yes, I had my seatbelt.
So you had your seatbelt on?
Yep.
All right. Your passenger, obviously they didn't have it on, they were throwing out the vehicle, right? All right. Just hang tight. I'm going to come back and get some more info from you in a second.
Hurry up. Go help her out.
The first 60 minutes following a severe injury crash is the most critical time period, and that golden hour continues to tick.
Oh, it's not funny.
EMS has their hands
It's gonna be
full.
okay.
Matthew's screams are becoming weaker, and he is not following commands.
Okay.
EMS notes that his vital signs are deteriorating.
I'm fine.
Blood pressure is decreasing,
I'm okay.
and his heart rate is
He
increasing.
just needs help.
It is not looking good.
He needs help.
Look, we got help.
Paramedics have determined that Madison should be transported and examined. Lane clearly does not require medical transport, and Matthew is in immediate danger and requires extrication.
It was not my fault.
What if we could just turn back
Get out of
the
here.
hands of time and make a better choice?
Look at Mackenzie.
Get out of here. No, it's not my fault.
You did it!
It's not my fault. Get out of here with that.
All right, Lane, come over here.
Maddie.
All right, look, I'm looking at this crash scene. I don't see any brake marks from you. So that shows me that you crossed that center line. You didn't even attempt to hit your brakes at all, right? So you weren't paying attention. Probably on a high rate of speed looking at the collision we got here. No brakes, so you made no effort whatsoever to even attempt to avoid this collision, right?
I don't know why I keep having to tell you. Why are you over
Because
here?
this is
Go
part of the
over
process.
there.
Don't worry about what's
That's-
happening over here. Focus on me right here, right? This is the outcome of it. You said you're coming back from this party, right? You said you didn't have nothing to drink, but I'm noticing the odor of alcohol in your breath. So how much you had to drink at this party? Doesn't just show up.
Trooper Brennan has confirmed that speed is a factor, and has noticed that when he talks with Lane, he can smell the strong odor of alcohol in his breath. He also keeps in mind that Lane admitted to Madison that he was texting at the time of the crash. These are several dangerous, high-risk behaviors. These are all choices. Trooper Brennan will perform a field sobriety test. There are 3 standardized tests to be conducted. The HGN, in which the trooper examines the eyes, the one-leg stand, and the walk and turn. From these tests, Trooper Brennan will be able to determine an approximate level of alcohol in the body and the presence of any drugs that have led to impairment.
All right. You might say that you weren't drinking tonight, but I know it's obvious signs. You're slurring your words, you're stumbling around, there's odor of alcohol in your breath. So that's all signs to me that you were possibly drinking tonight. So because of that, we're going to do the sobriety test to see how impaired you are. All right? So don't worry about what's happening over here. We got help coming out from them. I can't help them any more than what they are right now, right?
Well, you can help out who's helping them.
Don't worry about them, all right? We got to focus on this now. So what I'm going to need you to do, put your feet together just like this, put your arms down by your side. You see the tip of my finger right here? I'm going to move it left and right. Just follow the tip of my finger. I'm going to look at your eyes.
I'm right here, Matthew. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here.
Hey, follow the tip of my finger. Now listen to my instructions.
It's okay. I'm right here.
All right, so that's the first test. Next one I need you to do, go ahead and put your left foot down on that line, that perfect straight line on the ground, and put your right foot in front, touching heel to toe, put your arms down by your side.
Help's coming.
All right, do not move from that position until I finish telling you the instructions, all right? You understand that much?
Help's
Yep.
coming. It's okay.
All right, so when I tell you to start, what you're going to do is take 9 heel-to-toe steps in a straight line. Your arms are going to be down by your side. You're going to count each step out loud. You're going to get to the end, turn around, and again take 9 heel-to-toe steps in a straight line. So once you start, you can't stop and ask questions. So do you understand the instructions?
Yep.
All right, you can go ahead and start now.
Why are we just
1,
sitting here? Can you tell?
2, 3, 4.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh my god. It's
What number was that?
It's okay.
Hey, you said you understood the instructions. Best you can remember.
It's okay.
8, 9.
All right. Last one I need you to do, just like you did before, face me, put your feet together, put your arms down by your side. Whenever I tell you to start, whatever foot you want, your right or your left, you're going to raise about 6 inches off the ground. You're going to count out loud. 1001, 1002, 1003. Keep going through the numbers until I tell you to stop. You understand the instructions?
Yes.
All right, you can go ahead and start now.
I know it's okay.
1001,
You're strong. You're so
1002.
strong. You're so strong. It's okay.
4,
It's okay.
1006,
It's okay. It's okay.
7.
All right, that's good. Go and turn around for me.
You're gonna be
Turn around.
okay.
Turn around.
What?
Turn around.
For what?
Turn around. Look, you're under arrest right now for vehicular homicide,
Go up.
negligent vehicular homicide.
Lane has completed the test. It is obvious that he is impaired. Trooper Brennan arrests Lane for DWI. Lane will also submit to a blood test. He will be booked with vehicular homicide and first-degree vehicular negligent injury.
It's okay.
2 very serious criminal arrests.
I'm right here.
All right, we're going to walk to
Oh
my
my
unit.
god. My apartment's coming. They're coming. They're coming. Look,
As Trooper Brennan transports Lane to the St. Mary Parish Jail,
I'm right
you
here.
can hear the sirens of the Berwick Fire Department in the distance. You'll witness the cliche of a seatbelt can save a life or death from the reality. The golden hour of trauma continues to tick as Matthew remains trapped in the vehicle.
I'm right here. I'm right here. Matthew, they're coming. They're coming. It's okay. They're coming. It's okay. things to help you. It's okay. We're trying to help you. She's here to help. JP, is she okay? She's gonna be okay. Max? Kinsey?
You'll notice that some of the responding firemen are fellow students who were at the very same prom earlier in the night.
No, Elaine! They need
As the
help!
fire department
Hurry,
arrives, the extrication will take additional time.
He needs help!
The door will have to be cut open to safely remove Matthew from the vehicle.
He needs help! Hurry! Elaine, Matthew's
The
stuck
tool
here.
the rescue personnel are about to use is called a Hearst rescue tool, commonly referred to as the jaws of life.
He needs help!
The spreaders can exert enough force to cut through metal.
He needs help!
Using the necessary tool places the victim and rescuers in danger. However, they are highly trained in extrication.
Oh my God! Oh, Maddie!
After the vehicle frame is cut away from Matthew's body using the jaws of life, he will be placed on a backboard with spinal precautions to keep the vertebrae in
It's gonna
line.
be okay. It's okay. They're here to get you out. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Matthew, it's okay. It's okay. He's hurt. He's hurt real bad. Was he gonna be okay? It's okay. They're helping you. They're here to help. It's okay. They're here to help you, Matthew. It's okay. I'm right here. It's okay. Just breathe. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here.
Patty!
I'm so sorry. I'm right here. I'm right here. It's okay. It's okay. I'm right here. I'm right here. It's okay.
It hurts.
Oh. It's gonna be okay. Are you strapping him up so much? Is he okay? Please. Maddie, it's okay. Matthew, it's gonna be okay. Maddie, it's okay. It's okay. I'm right here. Matthew, I'm right here. It's okay. Maddie. Maddie. Oh my God. Where are you taking him? Is he okay? Please. They're helping you. It's okay. Please, I need to be with him. I need to be with him. I'm here. I'm right here. I'm right here. It's okay. It's okay. I'm right here. I'm right here. It's okay. It's okay.
Trooper Bruin is arriving at the jail where Lane will be processed and booked. Lane's anxiety is high as he now realizes that his decisions are responsible for Matthew's injuries and the death of his good friend, Mackenzie. Lane's father, who works at the St. Mary Parish Jail, will intercept them as they arrive. Although he has no criminal record, his child is in handcuffs for a criminal offense. His father is anxious, confused, and angry. The number of questions racing through his mind are endless, yet he is still aware of the totality of the situation.
Major Rogers?
Yes.
All right,
Lane,
let's come over.
What are you doing? What happened?
Well, let me introduce myself real quick. I'm Trooper Ross Brennan of the State Police. We're investigating a serious head-on collision that happened on 182 near Patty Drive. Lane was driving one of the vehicles. His front seat passenger was not wearing a seatbelt. She was ejected from the vehicle and she died.
What you mean he was driving?
He was driving the vehicle. Like I said, they were coming back from a house party. The other vehicle...
You had a couple drinks.
Well, hang on. Well, the other vehicle had a passenger inside. They weren't wearing a seatbelt either. They were also pinned underneath the dash. I'm not sure what's happened to them. Acadian was supposed to be coming and taking them out, extricating, bringing them to the hospital. But while I was talking with Lane here, I noticed obvious signs of impairment. He's slurring his words. He's stumbling around. There's an odor of alcohol on his breath. So we did the sobriety test, and he failed the sobriety test, which shows me that he was driving while impaired.
You've been drinking? How many times did we talk about this? You call before you get behind the wheel of a vehicle.
Look, like I said, he was driving while impaired, so he's arrested for that. We also got vehicular homicide because somebody died in the crash. We have vehicular injury because somebody's injured in the crash. So we're looking at some serious felony charges here. So,
who was with you? Who was with you?
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie?
Mackenzie was the one that was ejected and died in the crash.
Lane, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? How are we supposed to get in front of our parents? How am I supposed to talk to our mom and our dad? How am I supposed to pay for this? How am I supposed to pay for this and get you a lawyer and put all this money together? Where's this supposed to come from?
All right, Major Rogers, look, you work here, you kind of know the process. I got to bring Lane inside. We got to do the toxicology test, do the breathalyzer, see how impaired he actually is. But you'll be able to talk with him in a little while. We got to go inside and handle that business.
All you had to do was call, man. All of this could have been avoided with a phone call.
Due to the severity of the injuries, the victims will be transported to the only Level 2 trauma center in the region, Ochsner Lafayette General. The trauma center has the resources and services needed to rapidly treat multi-symptom trauma. The serious head injury, along with chest, internal, and orthopedic injuries sustained by Matthew. The trauma system has been activated, and the team is anxiously awaiting the arrival of Matthew. An announcement is made overhead.
Okay, team, so we have two teams in route via EMS.
involved in a motor vehicle crash. Our first teen is a male. He was an understrain passenger. He was pinned under the dash, and he has some pretty serious injuries. He did lose consciousness. He's in and out of consciousness on the way, GCS of 5. Our second patient is the driver of that vehicle. She was a sober driver. Minor injuries. She is stable condition, GCS of 15. They should be here in about 6 minutes.
Immediate life-saving measures are necessary for Matthew to survive. The assessment will be fast, as trauma is a time-sensitive illness.
Okay, we'll get you checked out too.
The entire team will work tirelessly on Matthew to treat his deteriorating condition. As Dr. Griffin notices shallow breathing on an unconscious patient, she chooses to intubate him and place him on a ventilator for support.
Okay, Matthew. Okay. All right, let's get some blood. We'll get some IVs started. Once we get IVs started, we'll hang blood. We'll hang some saline. Let's see what else we got.
Matthew is not answering questions and has a delayed response to painful stimuli.
Not responding.
It is obvious to the staff that he has a significant head injury. The staff will move quickly for a CAT scan of the head on their way to the operating room. An emergent life-saving procedure will follow to remove the blood and pressure in his brain, which was caused from violently striking his head. The team is working against time.
Okay, we need to get him over to CAT scan immediately in surgery. Matthew has some pretty serious injuries, so let's go ahead and get him over. Are you okay?
Matthew will be diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury. While undergoing surgery, doctors will place a bolt in the skull to measure the residual pressures in his head. His parent hasn't even arrived to the hospital yet, but it is necessary to move fast to the operating room. Dr. Griffin has been notified of his arrival and the arrival of the family and is ready to deliver the devastating news. As they wait, his parents recall their last words to him. "Be careful. I love you."
Hi, I'm Dr. Griffin. Are you Matthew's parents?
Yes.
Hi, so I'm just going to go over and explain what's going on with Matthew. Matthew was involved in a head-on collision. Unfortunately, Matthew was not wearing his seatbelt, and he did suffer some pretty serious injuries. As you can see, he does have some broken legs, but the main one I would like to talk about really is the brain injury. He was diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury. While you guys were on the way here, we did have to go ahead and take him over to surgery.
Okay, well, what about his legs? Will he be able to play tennis?
His legs will heal in a couple of weeks. However, the most serious injury is that traumatic brain injury. Unfortunately, this is going to take months, could be years to recover, but the next 24 hours are going to be very critical regarding his care. If he wakes up, when he wakes up, we'll be able to understand he could potentially not be able to walk again. There's a chance he can't
This
talk.
just doesn't make any sense. I mean, we just... No, he just was doing all his sports and his mountain biking and this, I don't understand. Will he be able to walk? I mean, what about his legs? This looks, I don't understand.
I understand that this is a lot of information to take in, a lot of difficult information, but again, right now, our main goal is to just keep Matthew safe, keep him alive. We have him on the breathing tube to allow his body to rest and recover. As far as walking and talking again, we won't know until he wakes up. But right now, those types of injuries I can't tell you because of how badly his brain was damaged, because he was not wearing his seatbelt.
Oh, but We always tell him to wear a seatbelt. I don't understand why he wouldn't wear a seatbelt.
Matthew's survival is unknown. The brain will continue to swell for at least 48 hours, so he will remain in very critical condition. Traumatic brain injuries result in life-altering changes. If he survives, he will need to learn basic fine motor skills again, like eating, talking, and walking. He will be in physical therapy for years to rebuild his muscle strength. In speech therapy, he will learn to pronounce words and formulate sentences.
Great job.
Matthew's parents are devastated and just wish they could turn back time. How could an after-prom party turn so tragic? The answer is easy. It was not the party. It was decisions made while getting behind the wheel of a car. We now focus on the classmate that did not survive. Mackenzie's lifeless body remains at the scene. The coroner is en route to confirm the death and prepare the corpse for transport to the morgue by Hargrave Funeral Home. The St. Mary Parish Coroner's Office witnesses preventable tragedies daily involving decisions behind the wheel. It is difficult knowing that a more responsible decision could have resulted in a completely different outcome. As the coroner removes Mackenzie's wallet, he has noticed a Berwick High School ID. What started out as a fun night at the prom and party will be remembered by all as a tragedy. Lives destroyed by dangerous decisions. A 16-year-old student should not be placed in a body bag. However, this is only the beginning. Who will make the dreadful decision of the clothing that she wears in a casket? Is the ceremony private, or should the student body attend? Closed casket or open? Who cleans our locker? Or do we leave it alone with a cross on the outside with the date of April 2nd, 2024? Do we call our name at graduation? The empty chair at graduation will be a painful sight. Remember, this was preventable. No one should have to make those decisions when there are options. Decisions have a lifetime of consequences. Everyone from the prom party gets to go home, but unfortunately for Mackenzie, she won't be, as her body is being transported to the St. Mary Parish Coroner's office. Despite risky situations that endanger law enforcement's lives, the absolute hardest part of their job must follow. State police, as well as the Berwick Police Department, must prepare for death notification to Mackenzie's family. When we say prepare, there are no correct words or guidelines to do so. This is a 16-year-old, a daughter, a sister, a granddaughter, and a friend. Trooper Brennan with the State Police and Assistant Chief J.P. Henry with the Berwick Police Department are handling death notification. While en route, Trooper Brennan tries to find the right words. What will he say? How will he approach the family? Because it never happens the way it is planned. No matter how many times they have done a death notification, there is no easy way. They imagine this happening to one of their future kids. It's just not real. As they approach the home, it is quite dark outside. They notice a small light on the porch left on by Mackenzie's mother. Ironically, she was waiting for her arrival home. They'll knock at the front door, and Mackenzie's mother will approach. She sees a trooper and a police officer, opens the door quickly, but is confused as to their arrival.
JP! What are y'all doing here?
You Mackenzie's mother?
Yes, I am.
Well, look, I'm Trooper First Class Ross Brennan. I work with the Louisiana State Police. Obviously, you know, J.P. Henry here, Assistant Chief with the Berwick Police Department.
What's going on?
You mind if we come in real quick?
Sure, come on.
All right, look, go ahead and have a seat for us.
Okay.
So, we're here about Mackenzie.
Yes, she went out to prom tonight. They should be coming home. I just got off the phone with her.
Yeah, so they were coming back from a prom party. She was a passenger in a vehicle.
Yes, she was Lane. Yeah, her and Lane were together.
So Lane was driving the vehicle. He was driving distracted, was texting, was speeding.
No, that's not Lane.
Well, so he crossed center line, wasn't paying attention, and he struck another vehicle head on. There was a head-on collision.
No.
Well, look,
no.
Mackenzie.
You don't know Mackenzie. Oh, come on, JP. You know. You don't call him Mackenzie. You call him Matt.
Well, look, Mackenzie wasn't wearing a seatbelt. She was thrown through the front windshield.
No, she wasn't.
And
she knows better.
She died in the crash.
No, JP, no. Oh, my gosh, no. I'm gonna call her right now, because I'm telling you, I just got the phone.
Well, we have her ID. We identified her the right way, but
I'm telling you, I just got off the phone with her.
This is her cell phone, so we have her. It is her. I'm absolutely sorry, miss. This is hard for us to deliver this news. Look, Lane was driving a pair two, was arrested for DWI, also vehicular homicide, and vehicular injury because another person got injured, plus the texting and driving charges.
No.
So look, JP's gonna hang out with you real quick. I got some more information I gotta get from my car, and I'll be back in a second.
Trooper Brennan and Assistant Chief Henry have tried their hardest to break the tragic news to Mackenzie's mother as gently as possible. They offer their condolences to Mackenzie's mother. They will soon depart with great sadness, questioning the decision as speed text, drive impaired, and their lack of seatbelt use. It's just not worth it. They witnessed the pain endured by the family, and this is only the beginning. The funeral, the family, the friends, classmates, and the others involved in the crash. As Trooper Brennan exited, he noticed a family portrait above the fireplace. He couldn't help but to stop for a moment and think about how preventable the entire situation was for all parties involved. Another teen injury and another teen death.
Dear Mac, when I got the news that it was you in the car, my world felt like it shattered into a million pieces. I am angry, numb, and screaming inside. You are my best friend and my big sister. I don't know how I would get through not only high school, but life without you. It hurts to think about all of the times that we rode around listening to music, dancing around the house, and we made summer plans. That would never happen now. There are so many thoughts running through my mind, like how I would drive on the road without a crippling of fear that I would see a blue Bronco pass me with somebody else driving it. How will I walk through the halls of school without seeing your smiling face? How will I walk onto the softball field without seeing number 16 at shortstop? So many questions that will never be answered because Lane said he was good to drive, because you trusted him and got in the car, because he lied and took your life from all of us.
Motor vehicle crashes are not simple. They are violent events, and the effects are far greater than the average person can comprehend. Usually due to a decision to take a risk. Crashes severely injure and kill people every day. They are preventable, and they result from poor decisions. Crashes are permanent. They're unexpected. They do not discriminate. As Berwick High School students, this could result from our decisions as soon as tonight. Who you do things with, where you go, how you get there, when you arrive home, and why all matter. Think before you act. Have a plan. Establish a trusted adult who can help you in a bad situation. You are never stuck. Let this be a win for all of Berwick High School today, and not a tragic memory that is burned in minds forever. You've witnessed a reenactment of a motor vehicle crash. Now what will your decisions be? Because you are always one decision away from a different life. On behalf of the team members involved in today's crash, we ask that you make a commitment to always wear your seatbelt in the front and rear seats, never drive intoxicated, never get into the vehicle with an impaired driver, never text and drive, and to develop a plan with your parents or trusted adult to avoid high-risk situations. Please join me in a round of applause for your student actors, Lane, Mackenzie, Madison, and Matthew, their parents, Louisiana State Police, Berwick Police Department, Acadian Ambulance, the Berwick Fire Department, St. Mary Parish Coroner's Office, Oshner Lafayette Medical Center, Terrebonne General Health Systems, Hargrave Funeral Home, Rick's Towing, and your outstanding faculty and students at Berwick High School. We would like to have all mock crash participants step forward to the center. We will answer any questions you may have.
Want to say something? James's. Yeah. James. Yeah.
First of all, I want to thank you for your attention here this morning. Before you hear from any of us, I think it's important that you have an opportunity to hear from the students who participated in today's crash.
Wait, what are we doing? I forgot. I didn't.
Yeah, he's drunk. He doesn't. So Lane, what we're doing is we're talking to the students about how it was, how it felt. Would you ever want to see this in real life?
Absolutely not.
All right. Did it feel real?
Yeah, it did feel real.
What you told me when you were in back of my unit, whenever it first started, it kind of, that's when reality set in?
It got to me. It got to me a little bit. Whenever.
So even though it's a reenactment, it simulates a lot how real life is, right?
It definitely looked real.
Yeah. Yeah, when you saw your dad in jail? Yeah.
Oh, well, you don't want that to happen to you, really, no. It was a great experience, though.
How did it being a sober driver, seeing all this?
Oh, it was horrible.
It
It's not a good feeling when your partner is screaming and crying in pain. It's not.
And you can't do anything really to help them out.
It's horrible, but it's an important lesson. Yeah.
Exactly. Injured driver. How that, or a pastor, how that
Huh? Oh, it felt bad being trapped.
Yeah.
It felt cool in the ambulance.
Felt like you can't help yourself, right? So that's how it is in a real crash. You might want to get out of that car, but you can't because you got to wait for first responders, fire department to come extricate that person from that vehicle.
Nothing kills more of you than motor vehicle crashes. Motor vehicle crashes lead in your demographic in terms of what kills you. The number one factor in those crashes that we didn't really discuss today for people your age is excessive speed, followed closely by distracted driving, followed by impaired driving, although often it's a combination of those that we see. Even if you're sitting here and you say, I have no intention of ever driving impaired or getting in a vehicle with someone who's impaired, I'd like to share a short story with you because her mother has asked me to share this story every opportunity that I get. 17-year-old Mercedes Garcia was driving to get her hair done for a senior football game. Mercedes is a very popular young lady. She was homecoming queen at her school. She was a star athlete, and she's driving to get her hair done. Mercedes is talking on a cell phone while she's driving. Is she breaking the law? Yeah, if you're under 18, it's illegal to be on a cell phone in the state of Louisiana. She's breaking the law. Laws are not always convenient, they're not always fun, but they're designed to keep us all safe on the highway. Mercedes' vehicle starts to run off the road. She tries to recover. She can't. She's traveling 77 in a 55-mile-an-hour speed zone. Mercedes' vehicle runs off the road, rolls over. Mercedes isn't wearing a seatbelt. Mercedes is flown to Houston in critical condition where she dies the very next day. This was preventable. This was preventable. Those decisions that she made, she could have made better decisions and she would still be here today. Her mother has asked me to share this because she doesn't want this to happen to any of you or any of your parents to go through the pain that she went through that day and still goes through every day remembering her daughter. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Assistant Chief Henry.
Good morning, y'all. All of y'all know me and know I'm a very passionate guy when it comes to all these things with our children and our kids in our community. As y'all could see, the scene of the death notification, I'll speak on that just briefly. That is one of the hardest things as a police officer that we ever have to do. I've had to do them before here in our community, and I can tell you it takes years off of our lives to have to go notify a family member that someone has just lost their life. All we ask, on behalf of the Berwick Police Department, all we ask, and I'm sure on behalf of all the other agencies, is that if you're going to drink at a party or a prom, all we ask you that you just call someone. Heck, you can call me. I'll give y'all all my cell phone number if that's what it takes. I do not want to have to respond. I no longer work on patrol, but I'm going to be the one to get called later on to that scene when it's a major fatal accident of some sort. So again, all we ask is that you guys just, don't drink and drive is what we ask, and don't ever make us have to go do one of those scenes like you've seen here today, even though it was a mock scene. I'll be honest with you, I was caught up in my emotions just with this. In 2018, my daughter at Berwick High School played the role of the person that was deceased in one of these events. And it's not easy. So I would like to thank State Police and Sudden Impact for coming in and doing this for you guys. Hope you guys took it seriously. Hope y'all took something away from it. Thank y'all.
And over the back of the door.
All right, one more time, a round of applause for everybody that made this possible. Sometimes our greatest ability as people is to have confidence in ourselves. That's also our greatest weakness, is we all have the confidence that this will never happen to us. From my sophomore year in high school till my 17th year as an educator, I can think of 7 instances where a high school student or someone who had just graduated the year before was involved in some type of accident involving impairment. I think the latest might have been 2019, where we had the guy who made the game-winning catch in the state championship game makes a poor decision while intoxicated. The one that hits me the most is a kid I coached, and these teachers and coaches can probably draw on what I'm about to say. I've got to coach a lot of great people. There's a few of them through the time that, especially when my kids were little, I wish my kid could be like you when he grows up. And I coached a lot of young ladies that, when my daughter was 2 or 3 years old, I wish my daughter could be like them when they grow up. There was probably only one young man that I coached at that time when my son was 1 year old that I said, you know, I wish that my son can grow up to be like him. And that was Miles Liner. I wasn't teaching here the year after Miles Liner graduated. I know exactly where I was on the way to a freshman football game in South Lafourche when I got a text message from a friend that Miles and his girlfriend, homecoming king and queen, coming back into town for the homecoming parade, homecoming game the next night, they were hit by an impaired driver. The entire game, I'm going back and forth with text trying to get updates. I'll never forget going into the church right there in Berwick, sitting in the back pew because I didn't have the guts to stand up and go talk to his parents because I was hurt too, and I know how hard they had to be. And as educators, the worst days on this job are the days you get a phone call from one of them letting you know what happened. And then we got to go share it with everybody else. So you're young, you have the most confidence in the world, but this whole thing is to let you know that it is possible that can happen to you. You have to make smart decisions. And it's not always going to be your fault, as in the case right here, but you got to make smart decisions. You might not want to be on the road at a certain time on a time of the year when you know everybody's out partying and drinking. You might want to get home quickly and get off the road quickly. Be a defensive driver, because nobody wants to have to experience this in real life. And that we hope that you took something from this and can make wise decisions. And like JP said, call them. Some of your parents have my phone number. I've always, when I coach teams and it's around a dance time, you can call me. I'll have to turn my phone off to sleep mode or whatever, because I'll probably be asleep when your party ends, but you can call me. I'll get up. I'd much rather have to go pick somebody up at 3 o'clock in the morning versus getting a phone call from JP the next morning. Again, thank y'all for doing this. I appreciate it. All right. We're gonna head our way back to school the same way we came. Again, I forgot who it was. I don't know your name. I apologize. Dana, Ms. Dana, commended y'all on how y'all behaved from the start of this experience. So good job. I appreciate your attention being given. But this time, let's start with this section, and we're gonna start heading back to school.
Joining us again. We want to thank you for joining us, and we're going to see if we can get someone to for an interview in just a second.
Hey, we have the actors and participants still hang around for a second. We're going to take a group photo. Thank you.
And we are joined by Trooper Ross Brennan. He is the public
on your side
affairs
in case you need
officer
it.
for
Ross.
Troop Louisiana State Police Troop C. Also, Assistant Chief J.P. Henry. Trooper Brennan, I know you do these quite often. Unfortunately, you also do notifications to families quite often. What does this mean to you to warn these students that a lot of these accidents are preventable?
So Brady, look, as you said, we do this a lot, and this is one of the longest things that lasts in these students' minds, is seeing these mock crashes. We see this on a daily basis. Every 10 hours in Louisiana, there's a fatal crash somewhere in our state that we respond to. That's way too much. It happens way too often. So by showing these students what could happen by a bad choice to drink and drive distracted, or not wearing a seatbelt, hopefully when they leave here, they can prevent it. I know the prom's coming up soon, so that's kind of what we did around this time, because there's going to be a lot of chances to make a poor choice. But hopefully by them watching this and seeing, man, this could potentially happen to me, it would not only influence them to make a good choice, but maybe influence a friend who wasn't here, maybe like, you had a little bit too much to drink, let's get you a sober ride, or hey, you're riding in my car, buckle up. So they can only help themselves, we can give them the tools to help the other people around them as well.
Assistant Chief J.P. Henry with the Berwick Police Department. You know pretty much all of these students here. It's personal for you. You mentioned a few minutes ago that your daughter Hannah, back in 2018, played the role of the victim who had succumbed to the injuries in that accident. This is personal. What does it mean to you?
Like I said a while ago, Brady, I'm very passionate when it comes to this. We get a chance to work with Trooper Brennan and Sergeant Anderson with Troop I and Troop C to do these type of events. And like you said, my daughter participated in this in 2018 as a senior. And like Sergeant Anderson said in his story, that my daughter was also the homecoming queen, softball player, cheerleader, all that that year. And I could tell you how it impacted me as a parent when she participated in that. And then today, fast forward to today, and having to bring that death notification to the deceased family today, it's very emotional. A lot of people don't ever get to see those behind the scenes things, that how it affects us on a day-to-day basis, like Trooper Ross Brennan said. We see this all the time, and it's unfortunate. Whether it be a fatal crash or any other type of death scene, we have to go give these and deliver these death notifications, and that's horrible to do.
Trooper Brennan, about 20 years ago, I started volunteering with these as a member of the Red Ribbon Committee, and also produced some of the audio tracks for this. When we started these over 20 years ago, it was mostly regarding alcohol or, substance, abuse or whatever that would cause these. Now you're dealing with distractions that you didn't have 20 years ago. You've got texting and everything else. What are you telling students, or even anyone of any age, about distracted driving?
So, look, as you said, distracted driving, I think we all know impaired driving is pretty dangerous, but you got the technology in the phones, but even the cars, radio is now an extension of the phone. So one thing we really stress for the students is to pay attention to what's called a graduated driver's license restrictions. So if you are 17 and below, you can't even use your phone at all on the roadway unless it's an emergency 911 type of situation, because we want a teen driver to be focused all their attention on the roadway. So as a parent, also make sure that you understand that you know what those Louisiana graduated driver's license laws are. That way you can help encourage those good decisions as well, too, whenever their loved ones behind the wheel, teen drivers on the road. So that's easily found. You can just Google that, find that. But they should be learning that in driver's ed as well.
JP, with prom season coming up as well as graduation, what is the Berwick Police Department doing to hopefully prevent such crashes or danger?
So we had actually partnered up last year, and I think a couple years before, with Louisiana Highway Safety Commission and the Safety Coalition in our area, Troop I area, and we conduct like distracted driving events at Berwick High School. I'm not sure if we're doing one this week, but it's going to be coming up soon prior to graduation, where we bring in students with us to promote distracted driving, to where, not promote distracted driving, but like to prevent distracted driving throughout the campus area, and like along Patty Drive, where we put actually a student with one of us, and we record those drivers that may be passing by in the school zone areas distracted, like maybe being on their phone, maybe playing with the radio, maybe doing makeup, those kind of things. So those are some of the things that we're trying to do to prevent distracted driving in our area and within the Berwick schools.
All right, well, thank you very much, guys. Trooper Ross Brennan, Assistant Chief J.P. Henry, for all you're doing to protect our students and our communities. Thank you, guys. And that's going to wrap it up for me. Again, we want to thank all of the agencies who were involved in speaking to the students here, the juniors and seniors of Berwick High School. I'm Brady Burrell for KQKI News, your local news leader.